I'm about to go into hospital for a replacement of my right knee, and this is a day that's kind of been coming for about 5 years or so, when I first began to get real trouble in my knees, actually both of them, but more particularly the right one, and you keep putting off the moment as long as possible, but it got to a stage where the discomfort was just too great and it was starting to get in the way of just doing things that I wanted to do, cycling, walking and so on. So a few weeks ago I had an x-ray and then an MRI scan on both knees, and I was kind of hoping that I might get away with a partial knee replacement on my right and maybe a scoosh out or debridement on my left, but the bad news was that both knees need to be replaced, and not just partially but totally. It's too big an operation to do in one go, so we're going to have 2 bites at this particular cherry, and later on this week I'm going in for my first knee, the right one, and I'm going to have a steroid injection in my left knee at the same time, just to find me a bit more time. I'm kind of hoping to put the second one off for as long as possible, because I know that it's going to be quite an uncomfortable period of recovery and a long period of recovery as well afterwards, before I'm able to get back to doing all the things that I like to do. But it has to be done. I'm very fortunate that I'm able to have the operation at a time of my choosing. So I'm now in that stage of getting the house ready, getting all of the bits of kit in place that I need to help me through certainly the first few weeks before I can properly resume walking and so on. I've done a lot of research, as you do, including the fatal mistake of actually watching one of these operations on YouTube, which trust me, you don't want to do. It's pretty brutal, but I know I'm in very good hands. And I'm kind of looking forward to getting out the other side really, and beginning the hard work of physiotherapy and lots of exercises post-op. Now, in the build-up to this, I've known now for a number of weeks that I was going to have it. I've been doing lots of exercises here in the gym and at St George's Park to build up my quads and my glutes and hamstrings, and just generally to try and stabilise my knees as much as possible. And that program will continue once the operation is over and I've gone through that initial 6-week or so period of healing. I can't drive for 6 weeks afterwards, and then we've got to see how much progress I've made. So I'm kind of ready for it, I think, mentally. My concerns are, am I going to be able to get back to doing the things that I want to do, and in particular motorcycling, because I need a decent bend of about 120 degrees to get my leg over the saddle and over the pannier to get properly back on the bike. So I suppose as a way of thinking about what might happen afterwards, I've been looking at alternatives, different types of bikes with lower saddles and lesser weight, because the one I've got at the moment, the Honda NT 1100, is very heavy, nearly a quarter of a ton, and that's without adding on all of the luggage that you take touring when I've been doing my European trips. So I've been thinking about alternatives, but I think the best thing to do is just to wait, see how I progress, and use that as an incentive to get as fit as possible afterwards. So on Wednesday I go in for the op, and what I intend to do is to try and update the channel with news of my progress, what I've had to do. There'll be setbacks, I know, but I hope to make decent progress, and to try and journal the recovery back to full fitness, and in particular to be able to get out on the bike, on the hills. I won't be doing any running, that's definitely out. It's one of the things that's contributed to this, all the marathons and half marathons over the many years that I've done them. And I probably won't ski again either, which is a bit of a sadness. I was scheduled to go in January 2025, but That's obviously not going to happen. It's far too soon, and in any event, I'm not sure I would necessarily want to actually get back on skis again. I know you can, but it's probably not advisable. So some things go, but what it will do is open up new opportunities for me to continue to be active, particularly when the second knee is done, going forward. But I know it's going to be a couple of years of, they're different, and that is the way it is, but I hope it's a price worth paying for longer term mobility. I certainly wouldn't relish the prospect of becoming increasingly incapable of doing what I want to do as I get older. So there we are. I'll keep you up to date with how progress is during the next few months as I recover my full post-knee replacement fitness.